Have you ever been coding away, only to be stopped in your tracks by an error message? It's frustrating, right? If you've encountered the message, expected this to be used by class method getURLParams, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to tackle this issue together. I totally get it. Seeing an error like that can make you feel like you're hitting a wall. You're not alone in this. Many developers face similar issues when working with class methods in JavaScript. Let's dive into the specific situation at hand. One user recently asked, "What is the best approach to solve this or refactor this component?" They provided a class that uses a method to get URL parameters, but ESLint is throwing an error about the use of this. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So what's going on here? The error message indicates that the method getURLParams is not using this correctly. In JavaScript classes, this refers to the instance of the class, and if it's not used properly, it can lead to confusion and errors. And stick around. At the end of this video, I'll share a quick tip on how to avoid similar issues in the future. To address the issue with the ESLint warning, the user should first understand that the warning indicates that the method getURLParams is not using this correctly. This is because it is being called in a context where this does not refer to the class instance. The user can resolve this by binding the method to the class instance. This can be done in the constructor by adding this.getURLParams equals this getURLParams.bind this. This ensures that this refers to the class instance when the method is called. Alternatively, the user can define getURLParams as an arrow function. Arrow functions automatically bind this to the surrounding context, which in this case is the class instance. After making these changes, the user should test the component to ensure that the ESLint warning is resolved and that the functionality remains intact. This can be done by running the application and checking for any errors. Fun fact, did you know that JavaScript was created in just 10 days? It's come a long way since then, but some quirks, like this, still trip us up. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution suggests moving the getURLParams function outside of the class. This user binds the function to the class in the constructor, allowing it to access this correctly. That wraps up that answer. Let's move on to another one. An alternative approach, suggested by another user, involves ensuring that the this keyword is used within class methods. For example, in a method called handlePasswordKeyUp, simply logging a message would trigger an error. Instead, they recommend using this to update the component state, which resolves the issue. Let's take a moment to review another user's answer. An alternative approach suggested by a user involves adding a reference to this within the function. They propose defining a function called getMoviesById and assigning its name to a property of this. Here's the tip I promised. Always be mindful of how this is used in your methods. Understanding its context can save you a lot of headaches down the road. And there you have it. You should now have a clearer understanding of how to resolve the ESLint warning about this. Remember, coding is all about learning and growing. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks.